Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tomb Tuesday. It is April 26, 2022. Let's go over the numbers real quick. Tomb right now is sitting at 98 cents, pegged to Fantom at 98.60. TSHARE is sitting at 37.82 USD or 38.15 to FTM. TVL is at 476 million. Let's get into the announcement. All right, now we'll try to streamline this a little bit. I know that last week's was approaching the 20-minute or just slightly over. So we'll streamline this the best we can. In the very beginning, Harry talks about how well TOMBSwap is doing. Number 3 DEX on Fantom by the metric of TVL. Number 2 DEX on Fantom by filtering DEXs by volume. Now that is absolutely incredible. He goes on to thank his team for all of the work they've done and goes on to thank the community for their support, strength, and trust. All of that goes into using TOMBSwap, helping with TOMBSwap, making TOMBSwap so popular in such a short period of time. 72 days, less than 3 months, and they're just getting started, averaging 30 million USD a day in trading volume on TOMBSwap. That is really wild. Tomb is one of the fastest growing DeFi ecosystems out there, and we are growing and we are building. So we could take a look at those screenshots real quick. This is showing you number 3 by TVL, and then this one is showing you number 2 by volume. So that's going to be rolling volume, likely throughout a 24-hour period. And then you could come over here onto info.swap.com to get any of these metrics, live. So current liquidity, volume over 24 hours is 40.8 million currently. So really just amazing stuff. TOMBSwap is doing great. It's very healthy. TVL is on the rise. So all of that stuff is amazing. Moving on. We're talking about the Felix exchange. So Felix is coming soon. We should take a quick look. Look at this. Look at this right here. So you got Fanty going on over here, but here's what we're announcing today. We're going to have this, right? We're going to be able to name this dog. So there's a little bit of a backstory there. We'll get to that in just 1 second, but there's a competition going on right now in the Discord, open for 48 hours from 4:30 p.m. EST Tuesday. So you're good up until Thursday. All of the rules and everything are in the pin message. It's in the competitions channel. Go take a look. Do yourself a favor. It's going to be amazing. Okay, let's get back to the announcement though. Here's what's going on with Felix. Every day they're getting a little bit closer, right? They brought in a team that's now beta testing everything on the site. Writing all of the FAQs, all in anticipation for a launch in Q2. Very excited about Felix and how this will bring advanced tools and deeper liquidity for everyone on Fantom with the safety and security of Binance's infrastructure on the back end. Now remember that Tomb will be used as the primary utility token, which means it'll be the primary pairing, and it'll also allow you to have substantial discounts by holding Tomb. Right, so you'll have VIP levels just as you do with BNB. So think BNB to Binance, right? And then again, also holding that Tomb will give you potentially other exciting incentives in the future. All right, so we just took a look at Fanty, right? And we have this whole storyline being built about cat versus dog, a very playful theme that'll all be hosted on Felix. And, Fanty has a name, but the dog now has changed. And with that change, the dog does need a name. And that is where you, the community, come to play. So we're going to have a little competition. Get in there, get out some names, get some ideas. Let us take a look at it. We'll put it all through the process. We'll get that over to the chairman and then let them make a decision from there. Moving on, let's talk about airdrops. So May 12th is right around the corner. May 12th marks the final day of snapshots for that last airdrop. This will likely be the biggest and the most complicated airdrop in DeFi history. I mean, period. You're looking at about 4 airdrops, essentially all happening throughout this moment in time. And that breakdown is right here. So September 5th is Gatekeepers. December 18th was Grim. And then a tiny little typo over here. It's September 13th to January 11th. So this is January 11th. And that was January 11th. There was an announcement that said the past, the present, and the future. So January 11th past, 120 days behind would be September 13th to January 11th. And then into the future is January 11th to May 12th. And that is why we say up here, May 12th will be bringing the final day of snapshots. So those four airdrops are all essentially happening around the same time. No word on how that will be released, but it does say airdrop deployment is on schedule for the end of Q2. We're working on implementing a claim feature directly on tomb.com, and we will have more information as we get closer to the final days before the last snapshot. So good news there. Everything's on track. These are ready to go. So that is fantastic. And you're just looking at this last one over here, which is actually going to be from January 11th to May 12th. So nothing before May 12th, obviously. And they are looking for the end of Q2, which would be the end of June. Moving on. Zaps. Zaps are just a quality of life feature. It's a fantastic thing. We could take a look at where you would normally see them over here. If you were in the cemetery and let's say you open up any one of these, you would be able to see this button down here that's grayed out. And because it's grayed out, because they're working on it in the background, and once it's implemented, this will go into effect. So the types of zaps that they're working on are all essentially based around the cemetery and the masonry, and it's all just quality of life. It's just to be able to get you to the place that you want to be, the destination token, with the click of one button. Some of these can do a single hop, some of these can do multiple hops, some of these will take your rewards, cut them in half, build yourself a new P, and stake it. So a lot of things can happen with Zaps. Those are all being worked on presently, and that's something to be very excited about. It's a very nice feature to have on the site, and it'll just be a very easy way for people to go about their business, collect their rewards, and decide what they want to do with them. Moving on, Tomb Chain is alive and on target to launch Q2. So Tomb Chain is now in its second week on the mainnet. And of course, they couldn't be happier with the results. So far, so good. Everything is happening on the mainnet. So you're looking at monitoring the behavior of it, how the protocol is responding, testing out some more functions, some features, some things that you can't necessarily do on testnet. It's all happening right now without the handcuffs, without the safety rails of testnet and on the mainnet. As a reminder, some of the things Tomb Chain will bring to the table: staking Tomb on Tomb Chain to earn incentives, Tomb as gas on Tomb Chain to increase the utility of Tomb. Again, super bullish on that. Faster speeds while supporting the FTM blockchain. So by taking transactions away from the FTM, the L1, pushing them onto L2, let all of that stuff happen off FTM, so that opens up FTM nice and wide for everyone else to use, and everything will happen then on the L2. So really cool stuff happening over there. This will be a game changer. Stay tuned for more updates and progress reports on this very important piece of the bigger Tomb ecosystem. And we do have a graphic for that right here. That is Tomb Chain is alive. And that is really fantastic. So having that on mainnet is just, it's such a big deal because the amount of time it spends on testnet is huge. So to bring that over to mainnet really does mean that everything has been polished out the best they could on test, and they've moved to main, and that's very exciting. All right, a new LP for TOMBSwap. So we have mentioned this before, TSHARE BTC-LP, and we have been running extensive tests, collecting a ton of useful information regarding this LP. This LP has been created to encourage new participants in our ecosystem and grow our TVL. This pair also sets a price of TSHARE relative to BTC, which we feel is more reflective of its value over time. Now, we understand that APRs are impacted, but the new capital that will flow into the ecosystem will benefit all Tomb holders over time. Stay tuned for more details, and that you can see right here for TSHARE BTC-LP. And again, If you wanted to go, you can check it out right here on Deck Screener. All that information is available for you. Those links will be in the description. Okay, moving on. Other news. We are exploring additional utility for Tomb, such as creating our own tornado or shade cache for Tomb Chain. I feel this could be an important utility to help ensure our trading strategies to support the protocol remain proprietary to us. So in other words, the strategies that they're using to support the protocol will remain proprietary to Tomb, to the Tomb ecosystem. Additionally, we continue to work on meeting the requirements of securing a Chainlink Oracle, which will be an important part of our growing strategy to access lower cost borrowing if needed. Now, with that being said, he says here, it's come to my attention that much has been written about our borrowings on Market XYZ this past week. Lending and borrowing have always been a central part of DeFi when used appropriately. They can be an effective tool to accelerate the growth of the protocol. Rest assured, we will always put the health of the protocol first and manage borrowings accordingly. Lastly, we alluded to an acquisition of a protocol a few weeks ago. The integration of the team is coming along nicely, and we anticipate that it will be an important part of the Tomb ecosystem this year. More to come. Now, let's go back 1 second to this area right here. Now, it just says that they're exploring additional utility for Tomb, such as creating tornado or shade for Tomb Chain specifically. But we do have a little sneak peek here, and it's right here. It's called the Crypt. You can see deposit, withdraw, and then a couple options down here. So just a little sneak peek there, which you love to look at those little sneak peeks. All right, last up, Tomb and Base. Our partnership with Base Financial remains positive and collaborative. For the latest on Base, you can always look at their Medium. We're not going to go to that link at the moment, but you can go on Medium at any time. The link will be right here, and you can read their articles. They do Base Fridays every Friday. We are making significant progress each week and see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Cheers to many more prints ahead. And again, happy Tomb Tuesday. Now, there is something here down at the bottom. Now, there's never anything down at the bottom, but there is something here. And it says, P.S. We are listening. Tomb merch is in the works. We are listening. Tomb merch is in the works. I'm going to leave it right there. This is huge. We have been looking for this for a very long time. I will leave you with that. And as always, we just want to keep calm and Tomb on.